All right, here's the second part of that video that I didn't have time to do earlier, but here's part two. So here's another example of a percent problem that has of and is in it. And again, 22, or I guess 20%, so 0.20, the zero is optional, of means times 2217 is what amount? Now notice this time there's no algebra to do because the A is by itself already. So really this is just strictly a multiplication problem because you know the numbers and you can just go in order. So you get A is approximately, you have to kind of round here, that dollar amount. Now if you like the proportion kind better, again you can put your percent over 100, then is over of. All right, so of is actually my total, and the is part, what amount, I don't know. So again, it's not great to memorize is over of, but if you know that the is, that's your part, and the of is your total, then that makes sense. And again, all you would do is cross multiply, and so you're going to take 20 times 22.17, right? So you're going to get that value, and then you're going to get that on the other one, and then again just divide to solve, and so the amount, again, you're going to get the same answer as we did before. Alright, so that's one type. Now sometimes they're embedded in a story problem, so they look harder than what they are, but they're not really. So say 28% of the math students earn an A in algebra if there are 30 students, how many earned 8? So again, it's the is and of are there if you want to. They're just maybe hidden a little bit. Or you can do proportional, but it's the same idea. So I'm just going to switch colors here. So you have 28%, 0.28 of the math students. Now, do I know the math students? Well, later I do. There's 30 of them. So 28% of those 30 students earned. Now, that's not an is, but it is a verb. So typically, were, is, are, those type of things, that's your equal sign. So 0.28, 28% of the students, that's all of the students, that's the 30, earned an A, right? How many earned A's? So again, this is strictly a multiplication problem because you know the two numbers that you want. So 8.4 equals A, so approximately, you can't have part of the students, so approximately 8 students. This one you could set up 28 over 100, and then is over of. Well, we know the of, there's 30 students, and then the is, let's see, of the math students is the 30. The is the part we don't know how many earned A's, so question mark. So again, the is and of might be, buried, but if you understand the part out of the total, that should be fine, and then you can cross multiply and solve. Now, I'm going to do one more. I'll connect and erase this. Sometimes it's not just simple multiplication, so it's actually solving, but again, the algebra helps you do that. So say let's see, 28% of the students were sick. And then I could say if, let's see, 5 were sick, how many students were there? Okay, so again, it has percents in it. I'm going to erase this one here. And so again, either method should work. Again, it might not be as straightforward as the other ones, but it's still there. All right, so let's look, 28% of the students, so of the total students. Now, I don't know how many of the students there were, so as were is my verb, so that's kind of like is or are or earned in the last problem. Sick. Now, I actually do know how many were sick. There were 5. So then I just do the algebra to get that the sick are not sick. Sorry, that would be the students. Yeah. Was approximately 17.857. So again, about 18 students were probably in that class. If you want to do a proportion, same idea. You always put the percent part over 100, and then you have your is over of. Now again, that's kind of hard to find sometimes, but the of is your total, the students, which I don't know. The is are the sick people, that's the part. So I have part over total. These are the ones that were sick out of the total. Again, cross multiply. Divided by 28. And again, you'll eventually end up with that same answer. So again, those are kind of and is story problems. And again, most students don't think they're too bad, but that's part 2.